Yes, what's up everyone? Welcome to Module 2. So Module 1 was all about strategy and risk management, and Module 2 is all about planning and reviewing, because these are the most important parts and this is what makes you a better trader. If you're not planning, if you're not reviewing, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So please take notes, put your phone away and pay attention. And also, if you like this free Forex for Beginners series, please leave a comment, subscribe and leave a like, because that massively helps my channel, because I want to reach as much people as possible. And it would be very nice if you would help me. So let's get started right away. First, the risk disclaimer. If you want to read it, click pause. If not, keep watching. So the table of content. First, I'm going to talk about why you need a plan, then some tips for beginners, and then a bit of structure. So let's get started. First, why you need to plan. Your goal as a trader is first of all to find your edge, the edge that fits with your personality. But the second thing is you need to be able to execute your edge in real time. It's okay to backtest and to confirm that what you're going to do is working, or at least has worked in the past. But if you cannot execute it in the live markets, you're not going to make any money. So that's very important to do. And when you have a clear plan and you have clear rules and you know exactly how you are going to trade, so you know when you're going to trade, what you're going to trade, etc., then it really enhances your, I call it, successful execution rate. It basically means how good are you at executing your strategy, how many mistakes are you making, and the goal should be to make zero. No one can do that, but that should be the goal. And if you have a clear plan, it makes it way easier to execute your edge without making mistakes. So the second point is less stress. If you're not clear about what you're doing or what you need to do, so for example, people enter a trade and they say like, should I close? Should I buy more? Should I move my stop loss? And it all causes stress and leaves room for error. But if you have a plan, a clear structured plan that says, if price moves up and breaks this structure, my stop loss goes below this candle. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this is what's inside your plan, you leave zero room for error. Everything is planned out before, and during a trade you can just relax. You know exactly what you need to do, you know exactly what works in the long run, and that's a way better way to trade than to be like in every single trade, oh, what should I do? Oh, it looks like it's going to break. Oh, maybe not. It doesn't work that way, and it's just it's a recipe for disaster, because you're just at the mercy of the markets, and you do whatever feels right, and it always ends bad. So point three, structure in the chaos, and I've talked about this before in other videos, but basically the markets, you can trade the markets at every single point in time as long as the market's open. So the market is the playing field and you can just play every single time. But as a trader, that's not what you want to do. As a gambler, well, trading is gambling, but as a real gambler, you just want action. You want to execute every single time. But as a trader, you only want to execute a trade when the odds are in your favor. And when that's not the case, you don't want to do anything except working on your edge. So a plan gives you structure in the chaos, and the chaos is what I call the market, because you can basically buy at every single time during a day, and that's a lot of chaos. You want to have a clear structure. The market is the playing field and you decide the rules at which you're going to play. There are certain rules the market gives you, but the other ones are up to you to form. And these are the rules you need to put in your plan. These are the rules you need to follow, and these are the rules you need to test to figure out if there's any edge in what you're doing. So point four, if you have a clear plan, you're going to make less mistakes, which increases your profits and decreases your losses. And that should be the goal of every single trader out there, to keep working on your plan and your way of trading, your way of executing, to minimize losses and to increase profits. So Tips for beginners. Well, when you are going to work on your plan, I'm not going over exactly everything that needs to be in. In the next slide, I will talk about some components, but there is a lot more to it. And in my webinars on my website, I go very deep into this topic. I tell you exactly what you need to put in your trading plan and how you can get started. But for this beginner series, this free Forex for beginner series, I'm going to go over the basics. First of all, some tips where you're going to start. Start small. A lot of people skip making a plan because they think it's boring and it seems like a lot of work, which it is. It's your business plan, and without it, you're going to fail. So it takes a lot of time, and you will during your career change things in your plan. But the important part is just to begin. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about 4 points you need to put in. Just start with one. Maybe do one this week, the next point the other week, but you need to start. And if you start small, you make that momentum, and before you know, you have a clear trading plan. But don't see it as a big task that you have to look up to, but see it as a way to structure your business, to really build a foundation, to enhance your performance, and start small. Also take your time. There's no need to rush this process. It should be enjoyable, just like backtesting. There's no need to rush. Just take your time, because it takes years to be consistently profitable. So if you're going to rush a week or two, it doesn't matter anymore, and the chances of you making a mistake because you're rushed are increasing. So just take your time in this process. The next thing is print it out, and especially in the beginning, it's important because people usually say, "Oh, my plan is in my head." No, it's not. You clearly don't have a clear plan. If you're asking me if you should close your trades out or not, you don't have a plan. And especially in the beginning, when you are starting with something, you need to be conscious about it. That's always how it starts. When you learn to ride a bicycle, you needed to pay very close attention to how you were going to ride a bicycle. Now, if you hop on your bicycle, you just ride 10, 20 kilometers without even thinking about it. But it needs to start with consciousness. So you need to print it out, have it in front of you when you're trading, so you know exactly what you need to do. And then after some time, it becomes a habit, and then maybe you can put it away. But as soon as you notice that you start to make mistakes again, just put it back next to your computer. There's no shame in it. A lot of professionals have some kind of notes or plan next to their computer during trading. So these were the 3 tips. Now let's go over the basics of a plan. First of all, the strategy. In the previous module, we talked about the importance of backtesting and building a strategy. In your plan, you're going to put exactly when you're going to trade, how you're going to manage it, where your stop loss goes, where your target goes. Basically everything about your strategy is going in the plan. You want it all written down, so there's no room for error. The next point is risk management basics. We also spoke about it in the last module. You basically want to know exactly how much you're going to risk per trade. You also want to know what you're going to do during a trade once risk is evolving. If you don't know what that means, go back to the module about risk management. So the risk management basics, then you want to look at the broker information, because it's important to know the information. Not right now, because you're probably trading demo or a small account, but later on, if you trade a very big account and something happens, you really want to be able to contact your broker as soon as possible to fix mistakes, because sometimes it can cost you a lot of money. The next thing is pitfalls. So things that you recognize about yourself, about your trading, that you often do wrong or that you make mistakes in. You want to highlight those, and before every session, maybe read over those, so you know and you are aware of your flaws, and you can basically minimize the chances of them happening. So that's also very important. And in the next few sessions, I'm going to talk about reviewing and learning from your flaws and mistakes, because that's basically what what increases your performance the most. But this is the basic structure you really want to put in your trading plan. And I suggest after this webinar, just start right away. You now know exactly what you need to do. So just grab an Excel sheet or Word and start with number one. Start with writing down your strategy. Maybe put in some pictures to make it even clearer. Put in some pictures of your grade A setup so you know what you're looking for. And it doesn't really matter. It's not the same for everyone. It's about a clear structure, but how you fill in the structure, that's totally up to you, and it has to fit with you. I don't give a fuck how everyone else's plan looks. I have my own plan. I have my own numbers. I have my own rules, and it makes me money. And I don't care what everyone else thinks of it, because this is what works for me. And you need to think like that. It doesn't matter what everyone thinks of your plan. It doesn't matter how it looks. It has to look good for you, and it has to be clear to you. And if you use the structure, that's okay. If you want to put in extra information, maybe less information, it's totally up to you. This is the basic structure, and do with it as you want. So to give you a bit of a recap, a plan is needed to execute your trading strategy without making mistakes. Your plan is your business plan. Every business has a plan or it fails. If you don't have a plan, you will fail. You need to be as clear as possible so you leave little room for error, and you need to know exactly what you want to do and when you're going to trade, because this really decreases the stress you get from trading. So I really hope you learned a lot from this video. I hope you get started. And like I said, if you have any questions, just contact me via the website or just leave a comment below the video, and I would really appreciate it if you just put a like and subscribe to the channel, because it massively helps me and encourages me to put out more content for you guys. So I speak to you guys in the next session.